What's more, I endured severe verbal and emotional abuse from a young age. Sadly, verbal abuse often escalates into physical abuse. Have you seen this picture? This is the last photo I took with my father.
Emotionally and physically abusive is not acceptable.
They began dating in 2008 when he was 19 and she was 48.
And I knew Brooke would be the one to walk away. I knew she'd be the one to walk away. I knew because back in like 2009, she had a black boyfriend.
I heard Brooke was fucking son with a hand out like a whole hand scared on Twitter. You're supposed to unblock it. Okay? I'm almost there.
Brooke Hogan is finally spilling the entire disturbing truth about her family, and it's worse than anyone imagined. Turns out both Hulk and Linda Hogan weren't just flawed, they were racist, manipulative, and downright creepy. Most people already know about Hulk's infamous N-word rant, but that was just the tip of the iceberg. Linda wasn't any better. She once publicly claimed black people were uncivilized and doubled down when called out. And then there's Brooke's younger brother, Nick. In 2007, he drove drunk and caused a horrific crash that left his friend with life-altering brain injuries. Even after that tragedy, Nick was arrested again for DUI multiple times. Through all of this, Brooke seems to be the only sane one in the family. She even tried to reconnect with Hulk after giving birth to her twins, hoping he'd want to meet his grandkids. But Hulk, he showed zero interest. And here's where things get truly disturbing. Brooke revealed that both of her parents slept with her high school friends. And the real story is way creepier than whatever made headlines.
As for Hulk's estimated $25 million estate, a source tells E.T. the mom of two was cut out of his will in 2023. But it's what she wanted because, quote, she didn't trust the people around him and didn't want to be involved in a financial battle when he passed.
For the first time, Brooke Hogan is confirming the most shocking rumor about her father. Hulk Hogan, real name Terry Bollea, had an affair with her best friend, Christiane Plant, while still married to Linda. Christiane later admitted everything, telling the National Enquirer she grew close to Hulk during a difficult period in his life, calling him a good man and father. She even gave Brooke a handwritten note apologizing for the betrayal. Hulk himself confirmed the affair in his 2009 memoir My Life Outside the Ring, but never apologized. Instead, he brushed it off, saying they were intimate about 5 times, as if that made it better. And this is the same man who, on reality TV, obsessively policed Brooke's dating life and claimed he was protecting her image, while secretly hooking up with her friends.
Some jabroni just asked my daughter on a date.
That would be awesome. Dad, do you remember Adam?
No, she's not going out with it. Not as long as my name's Hulk Hogan.
And Hulk wasn't the only one crossing the line. Shortly after discovering his affair, Linda filed for divorce. But she had her own scandal brewing. Linda, at 48 years old, started dating 19-year-old Charlie Hill, a former classmate of her son Nick. Brooke was still living at home when Charlie entered their circle, and the age gap alone made the situation explosive. When Brooke tried to talk to her mom about how inappropriate it was, Linda didn't take responsibility. Instead, she gaslit Brooke and everyone around her, pretending she didn't understand why anyone would be upset.
Dealing with all the divorce stuff. I know you and Mom are kind of having a rough spot, but...
It's hard just because I feel a little bit betrayed. I can't seem to wrap my head around the whole Charlie thing. The fact that he's your age, Nick, it's just as weird. And I would think that she would be smart enough to see.
I just try not to pay attention to it, honestly, because it's if I do, it's too hard to deal with. I just want you and Mom to be able to kind of work stuff out because I love you both so much. It's like, I just hate to see both of you guys.
And here's the wildest part. Linda wasn't even trying to hide it. She went full cougar mode in the media, proudly giving interviews and bragging about how young Charlie was. She even claimed that breaking up with Charlie was worse than divorcing Hulk.
Up with him was probably the hardest thing that I've ever had to do. Probably even worse than the divorce because I really met him at a time when I needed somebody to listen and to, just to be there for me. I was going through so much. And he was there. And we had a great lifestyle. He was young, yes. He was in between Brooke and Nick's age, which I didn't know at first. He said that he was older.
Ah.
And then we went out for a drink and he went like, I gotta tell you something. Okay. You're 19? Okay, as long as you're not lying about 19, you're not really 16, we're good.
Right.
It was just a rush. I never dreamed I'd be dating somebody that young, and it just turned out, and it was so fun.
So yeah, Linda never once regretted hooking up with a 19-year-old, and she couldn't care less about how it affected her kids. But then she took it to another level. She started publicly trashing Brooke, claiming her own daughter cut off the family for no reason. In March, Linda even posted a dramatic video of herself sobbing hysterically, accusing Brooke of keeping her twins away from their grandparents.
It's been 15 or longer years since I got left Hulk Hogan, and my family is in the worst mess. Brooke doesn't talk to us. She's had twins. She got married. She didn't tell us. She had twins. She didn't tell us. She had a huge fight with Terry. I don't know how that reflected onto me, but she cut me out too. I haven't talked to her for 7 years, almost 8 years now.
But here's the kicker. Linda had nothing bad to say about her precious son, Nick. Yes, the same Nick who left a young man permanently brain damaged after a drunk driving crash.
God bless Nick. He's still such a good boy.
And here's the part that's truly unbelievable. Linda and Hulk didn't just ignore Nick's reckless behavior. They encouraged it. They were literally filming him drag racing illegally, laughing and cheering him on. As for Linda's claim that Brooke was keeping her kids from their grandparents, that's not even close to the truth. Brooke's husband, Stephen Oleski, set the record straight, saying Brooke made multiple attempts to reconnect. Oleski told people he stayed in touch with Hulk and other family members, just in case they wanted to repair things. In fact, about 6 weeks after Brooke gave birth to twin boys in January, he reached out to Hulk personally. But Hulk, he showed zero interest. At one point, Nick even said he'd come over with Hulk to meet the twins, but it never happened. And what makes it even more heartbreaking is that Brooke had shown nothing but grace to her father, despite everything. She and Oleski moved from Michigan to Florida to be closer to Hulk as he aged. Brooke was there for every surgery for years, paying her own way, caring for him, and keeping meticulous notes on his treatments. No one knew Hulk's medical needs better than Brooke, but he never returned that love or loyalty. Refusing to even meet his innocent grandkids says everything you need to know about who Hulk Hogan really is. And here's the most disturbing part. This all stemmed from Hulk never forgiving Brooke for dating a black man. Some people like to claim Hulk's racism scandal was complicated or a one-time mistake. That's a lie. It wasn't complicated, and it wasn't just once. Hulk had a history of being openly racist going back to the 80s, while playing the all-American hero in wrestling, always pitted against stereotyped black or Arab opponents. Then came the 2015 leaked tape, where Hulk repeatedly used the N-word while ranting about Brooke's relationship with a black man. And he didn't stop there. He even said, "I guess we're all a little racist."
Then when it comes to nice people, we all are that way. Yeah, but when it comes to nice people, you can't say.
Later, Hulk issued an apology, blaming his racism on the way he was raised. But the truth? That apology wasn't about remorse. It was about damage control. Hulk was more concerned with how the leaked tape hurt his career than how his words hurt people.
This one hit me probably the hardest, and that's a heck of a thing to say, because I've been through a lot of crazy stuff. I was at the lowest point of my life. My personal life was destroyed. I was very mad at my daughter. I was upset over a situation that happened between her and her boyfriend, and I had no idea I was being taped. I was to the point where I wanted to kill myself. I sat in my bathroom by myself when my ex-wife was gone and the kids were gone, and I was completely broken and destroyed. And I said, what's the easiest way out of this? I mean, I was lost.
You were suicidal.
Yes, I was.
The only thing Hulk Hogan ever seemed genuinely upset about was the fact that his racist rant went public. He was never sorry for saying the N-word, only that the world heard it. And here's another infuriating part. WWE eventually brought him back without ever addressing the harm his words caused to black fans or wrestlers. Hall of Famer Mark Henry later revealed that Hulk didn't even try to deny his racism. After the tape leaked, Henry suggested they go on a tour of historically black colleges and law schools to talk about what happened. Hulk refused.
The things that he said and done and his lack of effort to try to fix it, people are going to come down on it. I never had an issue with him before I heard all of the stuff. And even then, I believe in giving second chances. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a fix-it person. I'm not going to dwell on the negative. I'm not going to talk about the past. We're going forward. And he never wanted to go forward and fix it. So, that's what happens when you think that everything is going to go away. It's not going to go away. I offered to say, hey, let's do a tour of the black colleges, law schools, and explain what happened. He didn't want to do that.
And if you're wondering whether Hulk changed as he got older, the answer is no, not at all. When Nick was serving 8 months in prison for that DUI crash that left his friend brain damaged, Hulk told him during a recorded call, "You know that God gave you this vibe and this energy that you and I are going to live forever. I just hope we don't come back as a couple. I don't want to say it, you black guys. You know what I'm saying?" Then, he jokingly called Nick the N-word, saying, "Nord, that means you, my best friend." Fast forward to less than a year before his death in November 2024. During his Real American Beer promo, Hulk was photographed hanging out with open white supremacists. One man was wearing a Make America White Again hat, an 88 hoodie, and flashing a white power hand sign. So when people act confused about why Brooke cut ties with her family or why she skipped WWE's Hulk Hogan tribute ceremony, the truth isn't complicated. She was raised by 2 toxic, selfish parents who crossed every possible boundary: racist, predatory, manipulative. And even when Brooke tried to be the bigger person, they shunned her. But unlike her mom Linda, who went public crying and trashing her daughter, Brooke stayed quiet. She didn't cash in on her story, didn't do pity interviews, and even refused Hulk's money. In 2023, sources told TMZ that Brooke actually asked to be removed from Hulk's will because she didn't trust anyone around him and didn't want to get dragged into a financial war when he died. She supported herself, working as a waitress before starting her own interior design business. And that's why, now, fans are praising Brooke for being the only Hogan with integrity. One user on X wrote, "Brooke Hogan needs to be studied, man. What a woman." Imagine asking to be taken out of the will of millionaire wrestler Hulk Hogan, going to college for interior design, and making it on your own as a waitress. She's the best Hogan. Another said, "Praying for Brooke Hogan, Hulk's daughter, who's been very private but honest about being estranged from her abusive parents. It's a special kind of pain to be abused by your family and have people invalidate you because of how they feel about your abusers."